Today's broadcast, we occasionally have done a part two, and this is one example of that. And we're going to talk about bad forum advice. Bad forum advice here in part two. It's about a 1 minute before broadcast time officially, and I'm getting ready to load this in and make sure that we've got the correct voice, that we don't have the chipmunk voice. So bear with me here while I load this in and check everything out. Testing. Okay, it sounds good. Sounds good on this end. And Andrew's in the house early. RJ Lane is in the house. And this is a continuation of yesterday's broadcast, so I'm wearing the same shirt. There you go. And this, by the way, I checked. It was made in the USA. It does not have it just says made in USA inside. It doesn't have the name of the maker. It is imported fabric from India, Indian Madras. It's comfortable in the summertime to wear something like this sometimes. So this is an oldie but a goodie, probably 35, maybe 40 years old. So Eric's in the house. Afternoon, just got back from an AD, paid a deposit for a Tudor Black Bay 58, 6 months waiting list. Oh, pass on the Tudors. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. No Tudors. Come on. We can do better. We can do better. And by the way, speaking of forum advice, sometimes you get good forum advice. The Timeless Razors were recommended to me in a forum, and I love them. I can't say enough about these. It's a group of brothers that make them here in these United States. Timeless Razor. This is the stainless steel one. I also have one made of bronze that I like that stays in the shower, actually. And then the guys in the forum recommended this brush, and this is by Wild West Brushworks. Wild West Brushworks out of Arizona, and I've got a video here on my channel, and these are fantastic. The problem I had with the other brush I had, the Art of Shaving, the brush, it was about a $50 brush, and this is about a $50 brush. The Art of Shaving one just sheds like crazy. The beaver, whatever these, badger, whatever, the fur, whatever, it sheds, gets on your face and so on. This one has not shed at all. I've used it twice now. No shedding. So 2 thumbs up. The guys in the forum recommended this brush, and it's working. So there you go. So you can get good advice in forums. You can also get a bunch of lousy advice. There was another comment in one of the forums today about how soft the gold is in a Rolex, and you can't use gold for a tool watch and all of this stuff. And first of all, how many people are using their Rolex as a tool watch? Even the people that buy subs. I mean, most of them are wearing it to go out to dinner, for gosh sakes. I mean, come on, guys. Let's be real about this. So these watches hold up fine. That one, again, 19 years. Well, that picture was taken when it was 18 years old of regular use. And still in good shape, folks. Not a problem. The gold holds up great. And the other point I didn't get a chance to make yesterday was as the gold ages and gets a patina on it, even if it gets heavy use, even if it gets a fair number of dings on it and so forth, it just looks classy. It really, there's something about it that just has an aura of class to it. Whereas a beat-up stainless steel watch is kind of just like a beat-up stainless steel watch. It doesn't have that same aura about it. There's just something special about it. Solid gold Rolex, 18 karat yellow gold Rolex that's had a lot of use. There's just something kind of cool about it. My take on the situation. That's my take on the situation. And I've had them where I've worn them for years. So Andrew's in the house. Eric, always nicely dressed. No, a fan. Don't know what you mean. I've got a fan up here over my head going, if that's what you mean. Hello from New Hampshire. Mark is in the house, enjoying my Grand Seiko SBGA 375. Well, Mark, you should Skype into the show and show it off to us. If you need my Skype number, just send an email to CraigShipp@gmail.com, my name @gmail.com, CraigShipp@gmail.com. and I'll send you the Skype number, and you can Skype in and show us that puppy. That's how that works. And the Dubai expat, hey man, I just bought 1 month ago my first Rolex Explorer at an authorized dealer with a 10% discount. Good, there you go. Good move. First of all, good move buying a Rolex Explorer, and a very good move getting a 10% discount. 2 thumbs up on that. I'm guessing you're not wearing the shirt untucked, correct? Well, actually, it is untucked because I'm wearing a swimsuit with it. I'm not I'm not fully attired here. I didn't put on my Bill's khakis are sitting over there. When I get ready to go out, I put my Bill's khakis on. I'm like a fireman, right? When I come in, I take off the khakis and I put on like a swimsuit or something. And then when I get ready to go out, I put the khakis back on. So that's how that works. Maybe too much inside information there. Let's see here. This will be my first tutor. Hopefully it will be a good experience. No, come on, Eric, please, please, please pass on that. I bought it to be used as a beater, but get a Grand Seiko. Use that as a beater. Come on, get a real watch to use as your beater. That's what I would recommend. And Andrew says, congratulations. No, come on, guys. Let's talk him out of this. Let's talk him off the ledge here. No need for a tutor. David says, hi, Craig and all. There you go. David Williams is in the house. Andrew's in the house. How do you feel about Steinhardt watches? I had one. I did a review here on the channel. For the money, I think they're a pretty decent watch. I'd probably buy something like an SBDC 007 Shogun, Seiko Shogun in titanium first. And you could probably buy one of those for around $500, I think, used. I think that would probably be a better bet than buying the Steinhardt. But the Steinhardt is decent. Decent watches for the money, I think. Like my wedding ring dinged up a bit. Looks great. There you go. Absolutely. If it's 18 karat gold, especially 18 karat yellow gold, it looks great with a lot of wear and tear on it. My mom had a platinum diamond ring for her 25th anniversary. My dad got her a platinum 1 carat ring, solitaire. It had some baguettes on either side, I guess. But in platinum, and she wore it all the time, never took it off, gardening and everything. I mean, all the time. That was on her wrist. And then when she passed away, it went to my sister, and it still looks great. Sure, it's got dings on it. It's got a patina to it, right? But it looks great. Let's see here, Steinhardt over Tudor. Probably, but I'd probably just skip on both. Personally, I don't know. I think you can buy a used Grand Seiko. You might have to spend a little more. You got to spend maybe $1,000 or something to buy a used Grand Seiko. Maybe I'd go that direction. Get one with a 9F, and then you have no servicing issues or anything. There's a bunch of them on eBay. Make sure you get a real one, not a fake. And that's the other thing. Thinking about false information on forums, this guy was talking about how you shouldn't use a hardware wallet, how they can get hacked and all of this stuff. And here's the thing. If you buy, for example, a Trezor, I have experience with a Trezor wallet, Trezor. And as long as you get a real one. Now, if you buy a fake one on eBay, then you're screwed, right? But if you buy a real one actually from the Trezor people and you set it up properly and you use it the way it's designed to be used, it's a very secure way to secure your Bitcoin. So don't listen to folks that say otherwise. Is my advice. Okay, so how many times have you done a show in a suit, tie, and a swimsuit? Oh my gosh, almost every time I've worn a suit and tie in the wintertime, right? A lot of the shows. I'll be wearing a swimsuit, yeah, because I take the slacks off because the slacks get wear and tear. And so when I come inside, I take the slacks off and I lay them down, right? And then I put on like a swimsuit or something. And it's just more comfortable, and it precludes wear and tear on the slacks. The slacks will wear out quicker than the rest of it. So there's how that's how that all works. Let's see here. Okay, so the other thing that we talked about, secondhand GS are becoming harder to get, not a lot on eBay. Really? Interesting. Well, let's check that. Let's go to eBay and search for Grand Seiko and see what comes up. That's what we'll do. We'll do it live right here. I have been talking about Grand Seiko a fair amount, and so they are getting a little bit harder to find, but here's one for $1,180. Well, that's automatic, too. Oh, they're bidding on it, so it's already got 8 bids. Okay, so I don't know what that's going to sell for. So let's see. Here's one to buy it now for $1,400. See, some of these are pretty small watches, though. You got to watch that. Let's see what the size of this one is, this SBGV007. That'll be a 9F movement, I'm sure. Let's look at the pictures first. It doesn't look terribly beat up or anything. Doesn't look terrible so far. Some scratches there, but that's fine. Okay, so let's see what size this watch is. That's the critical thing, because some of these are not, some of them are pretty small. Let's see here. Shoot, doesn't say. Can somebody check real quick on the SBGV007? SBGV007 and see what size that watch is? Be interesting to know. Here's a SBGS 007. Buy it now for $1,376. And let's see if this says the size. Oh, see, 34 mil. So it's pretty small. So that's what you got to watch. You got to watch out, because some of them are pretty small. And I don't mind like a 36 mil watch, but when you get down around 34, especially one on a bracelet. Anyway, so yeah, I'm sure there's some out there. You got to hunt, but yeah, they may be getting harder to get. They may be getting harder to get. Let's see. Do you ever try and get out scratches from your watch? I've heard you can use Cape Cod cloth, but only for high polish. Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't worry about it. No, I didn't. I've never polished any of my watches, and they're fine. They look fine. So I don't worry about it. The scratches are fine. They just go along with the program. So I don't think it's a problem. Let's see here. I found Barkin' Jack's in the house. Now, there's a famous guy in the house, folks. By the way, if you have not clicked the bell on Barkin' Jack, go over to his channel and not only subscribe, but be sure to click the bell, because otherwise you won't get the notifications that he is putting out some really cool content. You'll miss out on that. And so I just had to refresh here to make sure I got all the... let's see. He puts out some really good videos, by the way, Barkin' Jack. And I said that even before he did the positive videos about the GS. now I'll say it even more. Let's see. Eric says, hi to Adrian, enjoying your podcast with Scottish watches. There you go. Anyone else enjoying Paul Thorpe's videos? RJ Lane in the house. Adrian, how are you? Adrian, how you, sir? I guess he meant said how are you, or whatever. Anyway, everybody wants to know how Adrian's doing. I'm sure he's doing great. He's always in motion, making positive things happen. That's a good thing. Not a lot of newer pieces there. Thanks, Eric. Hi, David. I'm good, thanks. Okay. Any thoughts on Orient President? I love the Rolex Datejust, but I don't have the budget for it. So maybe some folks can chime in the chat about the Orient President. I'm not real familiar with that watch. Maybe some folks can give some. But here's the thing about the Datejust. You can find some older ones sometimes at a deal. So I'd try to get one in pretty good shape, though. That's for sure. because, condition is everything on an older Rolex. But you might be able to get a deal on an older Datejust. One with like an engine turn bezel. My first watch, 1978, was a Datejust with the engine turn bezel and the Jubilee bracelet that, believe it or not, was made in the United States. They did that back then. Enjoying the GS9F. I trust mine is en route. Should have, okay, there we go. Yeah, 9F. There's one with the gas bones strap from the UK. And nuzzled up next to it there is my Olight baton flashlight in titanium. Let's see here. Nailed the Grand Seiko and Polar Explorer 2. Bark and Jack, loved the story of how someone pretended to be you in the hope that you would send your watches to the imposter. Okay. Hey, you never know what's going to happen out there in the wild, folks. That's for sure. Okay, so folks asked about the... so let's finish addressing the patina issue on gold watches and the fact that everybody says they're like butter and they like get totally destroyed if you wear them every day and all this stuff. I call nonsense on that. I say any 18 karat gold, yellow gold, Rolex, go ahead and wear it and enjoy it and don't worry about it. And there are a lot of more important things in life to worry about. It's going to look great. It's going to look better beat up than a beat up stainless watch. They're both going to get beat up, right, if you wear them every day. But the gold one is going to hold up better and going to look better than the stainless steel one. That's my final words on that after many years, actually decades of wearing such watches on a daily basis. So, and I'm the only watch guru out here with multiple decades of experience with 18 karat gold Rolex watches. Even more decades of experience than the Pontiff. So there's that. I was buying gold Rolexes when he was probably just a little tiny toddler, or maybe he didn't even exist. Let us know in the chat what year that the Pontiff was born, and then we can do that calculation. Let's see. Bark and Jack loved. Okay, we already read that one. I do love the GMT with the black dial and orange details. That was the one I'd get if I couldn't find the limited edition. They're all great. All three of them are great. I like the blue dial just because the way the sun hits it sometimes, when the blue really pops. I'm going to bring that picture up of it in the sunlight. It's just an amazing thing to see. I think you've seen it. I shared it on Instagram. But let me just find it here just to share it again with you guys, because it's just something that's really special about the dial on the blue. So you see how that can pop sometimes and just give you that, the way the light just dances on that, and you get that blue to pop out a little bit, and then the red kind of stands out there. I just think that's kind of cool. Now, see, in this shot, it looks black. The dial really looks black, right? Because it just depends on the lighting. So, but you get the benefits of the black dial because most of the time it looks black, but then you get these times when the sun hits it just right, and you just get that like spark of blue. I think it's kind of, you get the best of both worlds there, folks, with the blue dial. So, but they're all great. The black dial's great. Okay, 1977. We've got 1977. Was that when he was born? Can we get a confirmation on that? Because I bought my first Rolex in 1978, and that was the engine turn bezel Datejust. I didn't buy the first DAY-DATE until about 1980. So he would have been 3 years old when I bought my first DAY-DATE. Jaden V's in the house. The Ponton didn't even have horns yet when you owned your first DAY-DATE. Oh, jeez. is that blue looks black and orange. Yeah, that's the thing. Depending on the lighting, that's what you get with these watches. That is the blue dial, believe it or not, and it does look orangish. But then again, in this picture, see, it looks more red and blue. It's the same watch, trust me. That's the same watch there and there. So very interesting, isn't that? Very interesting. Actually, I think he was born in 1972. I think he said recently it is his 48th soon. Could be wrong. Okay. So if he was born in 72, he would have been about 8 years old when I bought my first day-date. So still a youngster. Guaranteed the Pontiff is at least 15 to 20 years younger than he looks. Oh, jeez. That's terrible to say. Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. Confirmed 1972, October 23rd. There you go. Archie is from 1972. Okay, so, yeah, so he was about 8 years old when I got my first day-date. It was a used day-date. And it had the conventional clasp with micro adjustments. President bracelet with some stretch. It was an 1803. It was about a 1966 model when I got it in 1980. So, Eric C. Pop, wow, you look great for your age. Well, thank you, my friend. The check's in the mail. There you go. I'd like to ask Adrian a question. When you're wearing your Explorer for a few days, then you put the GS on, haven't you got to mess about setting the time? Do you like that? Well, of course, he wouldn't have to set the time on the GS because it's going to be spot on all the time, but he would have to set the time on the Explorer if he lets that stop. So I can answer that question, but hopefully if he's still in there, he can chime in. He's 46, confirmed last night's live stream. There you go. Somebody says that's terrible. You challenge the Pontiff to a push-up competition. Need to think of a good wager. Well, I don't think that would be a fair fight. I don't think the Pontiff is going to do very many push-ups anytime soon. Oh, boy. And I wouldn't want to be responsible for him to get a heart attack. I like the guy, for gosh sakes. All right, so somebody else asked, the other reason why we're doing part 2 today is somebody asked about the pictures in my magazine rack, the magazine rack back there, that mahogany magazine rack. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through it. I'm going to bring it over here. I haven't touched it. I haven't changed anything. It is what it is. What's in there yesterday is in there today. So I'm going to pull over the magazine rack, and we're going to go through the puppy. We're going to see what's in there. Bark and Jack says, yeah, I love the fact that I can just pick up the GS and I can trust it better than anything. I love that the GS is always bang on time. I tell you, you get spoiled. You get spoiled fast. I mean, this spring drive here, I don't even think about checking it. It's insane how accurate this thing is. I mean, you know, it's just not even, doesn't even enter my thought process. I will not change the time on this. I will not recalibrate this until we have daylight savings time ends or something like that, right? Where you have to adjust it an hour. I mean, that's the only time. Same thing with the 9F. That's it. That's the only time we have to change these watches. Because the spring drive is damn accurate as well. I mean, it's within less than a second a month. I mean, it's like insane how accurate it is. And they over-deliver. They under-promise and over-deliver with the accuracy on these things, folks. Chicken meal deal combo is what keeps Archie's horns intact. Okay, so a message got deleted. Whoa, did somebody do something inappropriate in here in this troll-free zone? Afternoon, sir. Wearing my new SBGN 001. Haven't worn my Datejust, Rolex Explorer, Omega, S&P 300 since I got this GSGMT Quartz Beauty. There you go. I hear you, Mark. You get spoiled fast. Only thing I would love to see is the micro adjustments. Of course, I've got that on the gas bone strap right now, but it would be just a double thumbs up, 100% whammy if they came out with the same watch with micro adjustments on the bracelet. That would be a home run, folks. Absolute home run. So, but some people don't have as much problem with their wrist expanding and contracting. I have more of a problem in the summertime with that, and I'll primarily be wearing that watch mostly in the wintertime anyway, so it won't be as big a factor for me. But if I was wearing it year-round in the summertime as well, it would definitely be a factor, not having the micro adjustment. Those little tiny screws, man, are a pain to resize that thing. They're tiny screws. For my old eyes, forget about it. Let's see here. Maybe Clivers versus Pontet in a push-up competition is fair. Well, there you go. My Explorer says +3 seconds after 3 months. Well, that's not bad. Time to plug your straps, Adrian. Oh, yeah. Adrian's got straps, man. We're talking about straps. Adrian might as well talk about his straps. He really should Skype into the show is what he should do. Adrian should Skype in. I don't know if he's still in here. I don't see him still in the chat, but he should Skype into the show and show us his straps, for gosh sakes. That's how that works. Let's see. Craig, you're the best, most experienced quality goods buyer, owner, wearer on YouTube. Whoa, look at that. Look at that compliment. My Air King is consistently +2 seconds a day. I'm very pleased. As long as it's fast, you can always adjust it. You can pull it out and stop it for a few seconds and make adjustments. That's the key. It's got to be fast. Okay, so let's do this. Let me get the magazine rack over here, and we'll go through that and get that out of the way, because I promised I would do that yesterday, and I didn't, and I like to keep my promises. Let's see here. If you put the pontiff on Craig's back when Craig was doing the push-ups, he would be Clivers. Oh, my gosh. No, that would probably break my back. I don't think I could do that. Bark and Jack says, thanks, guys. Let us know in the chat. I know it's getting late over there, but let us know in the chat if you want to call in, if you want to Skype in to the show and show us your straps. Adrian, I'd be happy to let you in. You just have to email me. My name, CraigShipp@gmail.com, CraigShipp@gmail.com, so that I can send you the Skype number, because I don't want to give it now, because I might get too many calls. I don't know how that would work. Let's see. Get the 19 millimeter line going. There you go. Let's see. I would hope a Rolex would maintain its +2 seconds. That's what Rolex promises. I sent you an email to try to Skype the show. Okay, Mark, let me check the email. Just give me a moment here. Hold on here, folks. Don't anybody panic. I'll let you know when it's time to panic. I got to pull up the email here and see if I got this email. Okay, Grand Seiko Skype. Okay, I'm going to reply to Mark. Okay, and those are numbers after the name Craig. C-R-A-I-G, and then 4 numbers. Okay, so let me get Skype up here so that I can make sure that we can take the call. And then we will get to the magazine rack, folks. We will get to that, if I don't forget again. So, Skype is launching here. Okay, so I am ready. I am ready to take an incoming call. Incoming. Let me get I'll go ahead and put my headset on, so I'll be ready. Let's see. Thanks, Craig. I'm just getting the kids to bed. Another time for sure. And I better shoot. Would love to see a video of your live stream setup. It's very impressive. I've got some videos on my channel walking through it already. But yeah, we can talk about that at some point. All right, so I'm ready to take a call in. We'll see what happens with that. Okay, Mark is here. And I'm going to accept Mark. And then hopefully he will call. Or maybe I'll try to call him. See what happens here. Hello. Mark?
Hello. Hello, yes.
Okay, yeah, turn on your camera so we can see your camera. There we go. And can you turn it landscape? Good, perfect. Okay, here we go. Now we got it. All right. There is the beauty. Now that's the that like classic case design. What do they refer to that as?
Oh, it's gosh, I don't remember I don't remember what the case design is.
Yeah.
But it's stainless steel, 40 millimeters, and it's got the kind of like the dark blue face.
Oh, wow. That is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
And it's neat because the date wheel is also dark blue with white numbers.
And that's the spring drive.
That is spring
I
drive.
can see that second hand just smoothing right on around there. Now, does that one also have a screw down crown or not?
Yes, I believe so. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got the 10 bar water resistance.
Okay. Because some of the entry level spring drive watches do not have the screw down crown. So that's good that that one does. I mean, it depends on if you go in the water or not, right? I mean, some people don't like the screw down crown because they don't like to mess with it. But if you go in the water at all, I think it's good to have it. That is a nice looking piece. And that has the conventional clasp on the back. It does not have any micro adjustments, right?
Yeah, it's just.
And you have not, a 44 GS case. Yeah, Blue chimed in the comments exactly. Now, you have not had any problems with not having the micro adjustment? It hasn't like gotten too tight on your wrist, or you haven't had any problems with that or not?
Well, I actually did order a couple extra half width lugs because I may take out one of the full size lugs and put in a half because it's a little bit loose, but in general it's good.
Okay, so it hasn't been like really a problem for you.
No,
Okay.
It's been good.
And the neat thing about those bracelets is they are very comfortable. The flexibility in them, and just the way they're designed. That, just so you know, that center pin in there actually floats. It's actually the pin that goes through those center links actually floats, and that is resized by screws, correct?
Yeah. There's screws on the side. You take out the screws and then there's a pin you pop out. Yep.
Exactly. And my gosh, mine, the screws are so small, there's no way I could do it myself. I mean, I would definitely screw it up if I tried to do it myself. So there's that. But yeah, oh, well, and now how long have you had it?
I just got it a couple weeks ago.
And how's the accuracy?
Pretty new.
How's the accuracy?
Oh, it's been spot on. Yep, exact.
So you haven't noticed any gaining or losing at all. It's just right on where you set it.
No, it's been right on.
Well, there you go. And how much wrist time does it take to keep it wound up? Is it pretty efficient as far as the amount of wrist time that it requires to keep that thing wound up?
I mean, I've kept it on pretty much all the time except when I'm in the shower. So it's been wound up fully
it just
all the
stays
time.
pinned all the way. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, there you go. And somebody says it looks tight on the wrist to them. How does it feel to you? A little bit tight?
It's actually not that. It was tight when I first got it, but I adjusted it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It does have some play in it. I can slide it up and down.
Gotcha. Yeah. Gotcha. Well, there you go. Let's see here. let's see, I got a text coming in from Audrey. Let me just see. Okay. Well, I mean, oh, we lost Mark. Okay, I didn't mean to cut him off. But anyway, that was really cool to see, live, to see his watch on wrist. And we do have a couple of questions. Maybe he can chime back in the chat and answer what his wrist size is. And yeah, it looks like he's going to measure. Let's see, 36 millimeter date disc presidential gold with rose gold face and 40 millimeter, same thing. I don't understand what you mean by that. 36 millimeter date just presidential gold with rose gold face and 40 millimeter, same thing. I'm not sure what you're saying. Okay. I used to wear 38 millimeter watches, and then I got my Air King 40 millimeter. I just found the 38 millimeter too small. Okay. His wrist is 6.5. Okay. Okay. Let me just check real quick on this message from Audrey. Let's see, audio only. Okay. I just texted her back and said, I'm in a live broadcast here. And so there's that. Okay, so we're going to get the magazine rack and deal with that. Give me a moment. Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do, I just carried the magazine rack over. And we're going to go through each book in here. It's way too heavy. I got to get some of these books out of here. But first, let me catch up on the comments here. I can't decide between 36 and 40. If you're not sure, go 36. If you're talking about like a day-date or a date just, the 36 is a great size. Date just 2 with the presidential band. Yeah, I would skip that. I'd skip. I didn't even think the date just 2 had the president bracelet on, but yeah, I'd skip that and go with a day-date. My issue was the 40 millimeter, I think, was missing a link. 36 millimeter have the perfect amount of links. I wore it once, but it felt like more like 40 mil. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's go through these real quick. Oh. Whoops. Okay. All right. Still love the gold stunner. It's a beauty. Well, there you go. Absolutely. Okay. All right. So let's do it here. All right. So this Christie's Great Estates book that has a bunch of estates in it. that I guess at the time were for sale. Okay, so that was in the front here. There's a landmarks book from the landmarks of Frederick County, and this has it has a nice advertisement in it in here somewhere for Frederick.com. So that's why I kept that in there. The Steve Jobs book is in the front. Great book. Audrey's book is here. This is a beautiful book of pictures of Audrey. And this is 14 by 14 book. And these are all, oh, that picture's sticking together. That's not good. That's not good, folks. See if we can fix this live. There we go. Okay, so some pictures, and these are all available on my Flickr. If you want to download them, go to my Flickr and search keyword Audrey. Okay. And there you go. The stunning Audrey Scherer. It's a picture book of Audrey. And that was taken at my place down in Sarasota. The one on this one. Okay. And that was when we shot the famous video of her in the Taylor Swift top that has more than 2 million views. 2 million views on YouTube, folks. There you go. And that was Siesta Beach. I think that was when we first met, like 7 or 8 years ago. I think that's about when I took that picture. Some more at Siesta Key Beach. The drum circle. A couple more in Sarasota. This was a video we did when we did her 10 best hooping tricks. It has more than 1 million views on YouTube. If you search hooping or hoop dance on YouTube, it's one of the first ones that comes up. And having a little bit of fun there. How can you not have fun with Audrey? And there's Audrey carrying a bunch of my camera gear. So she's a sport. She's a sport. And this again was when we were shooting the 10 best hooping tricks video at the Sun and Fun Resort in Sarasota. This is also the Sun and Fun Resort in Sarasota. And there she is holding a book that I gave her as a gift, holding that book. And now she's holding that book inside this book. How's that? And a couple more pictures. Best way to back up pictures is prints, folks. And there she is with my camera gear. We did a video about that, my camera gear, and her with the Think Tank belt on. She looks better with the Think Tank camera belt than I do. And there she is at her workstation that I set up for her down in Sarasota with lighting and so forth to do live streams. It was before she went off air, stopped doing live streams. And there's Audrey with yours truly, and playing with the jib. The jib. Couple more photos. Nice serious look on that one. And the laptop thinks I said Siri. Jeez. Oh well. And that's the last one at a fashion show at the university there in Sarasota. So that's that book. I'll check the comments and we'll get on to the rest of the books. Let's see here. Let's see. I was in store and they really wanted to push 36 MMA because it was the same price as the 40 mm, but it was out. But it was made out with diamonds. Yeah, I would skip diamonds on a day-date. I'd skip that. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to go through the rest of these books here real quick. because we're losing interest in the books, I think. This is Codename Ginger. This is the book about the Segway human transporter, and I had one of the first ones shipped back in 2001 or whenever it was, and now I have the second one, second generation. Okay. Here's the book, The Star and the Laurel, all about Mercedes-Benz. And of course, I used to drive Mercedes until I got smart and started driving Toyotas and Lexus. And here's a brochure from Marathon Coach Company when I went and looked at some of the Marathon coaches. This little brochure there. And there's a calendar from Marathon Coach down in Florida. What this is? Oh, Colonel Littleton, one of his books. And here's here's just the maps of the hiking trails around here, around Camp David. I need that handy because I got a guest coming. We're going to need that. And there's Colonel Littleton. Brochure. Here's a book, The Fighting Rovers, about Land Rovers that were used during wartime. And here's the definitive book on the Range Rover Land Rover. That's a cool book. I used to be into Land Rovers and Range Rovers many years ago. And here's a book, Justine's book. I don't know if you follow her or not on social media, but we used to work together years ago when she was just getting started. We did a couple videos together, and she has become a superstar, of course, online, and that's how that works. Here's another book. This is an Apple book that I had made that just showcases some of my photography just for as a keepsake. Fabergé. I went to a Fabergé exhibition, and we got this book. There's a Fabergé egg. See what this is. Oh, this was a mansion that was for sale down in D.C. that we went and looked at, a friend of mine and I. And this is just company that's, I can get rid of that stage props book. I don't need that. I'll throw that away. Leading watch retailers, Little Treasury. That's from Steve at Little Treasury. Okay, I'll keep that. What the heck? And a book on Jaguar. We'll pass on Jaguars for now. And that's it. That's all that's in that magazine rack right now. And some of those things don't need to really be there. That's how that works. Okay. Let's see what else. I like Audrey's book the best. Great photos, quality photos. Yeah, Audrey's pretty freaking amazing. And she's a lot of fun. I talk to her almost every day still. We keep in touch, and she may be coming to visit here soon. And I'm trying to convince her to go back online and start doing some stuff again. And I told her we'd keep the trolls under control this time if she did, because the trolls really, really got to her. She's very sensitive. But I told her this is a troll-free zone now, and we could keep her channel troll-free. We could work on that. And so she's somewhat receptive. We'll see. We'll see what happens with all that. But she's pretty freaking amazing. Let's see. Somebody's getting wholesale on a Rolex. That's good. How's that Maryland humidity, Craig? It's been pretty good. The humidity's only been about 50% up until now. It gets hot usually around the 4th of July. See, I've got a little bit of elevation here where I am, so it's not too bad, but around the 4th of July, it starts getting hot, and it's usually hot for about a month or so here until the first week of August. The rest of the time, it's usually pretty good. I walk every day. I walked today, no problem. I walk anywhere from 5 to 8 miles a day. We got a lot of hiking trails around here and a lot of places to walk, and so I do it every day. And so far, I haven't missed. So it hasn't been so hot that I can't do what I need to do. Let's see here. What percent is wholesale for Rolex? That'd be good to know. I know they've got at least 40% in the all gold units. I know that because I've gotten them for as much as 40% off in the past. Well, assuming the markups are the same as they were years ago. That'd be good to know, though, if we could somehow get the real scoop. I'm still looking for the measurement on wrist. I was pretty salty because, trust me, 36 millimeter with diamonds was amazing. Yeah, I'd pass on the diamonds. I like you trying to pronounce things right. Okay. It all depends on whether it's used or not. I will probably buy a used one that is only maybe 2 or 3 years old. We look for someone who wants to get one off quickly, but does get inspected. Okay. Whatever you like. I'm just giving my honest opinion. Okay. I like these photo books. I have over 2,500 photos of food on my Instagram, a hobby, but I can't find an outlet which will let me print all of those photos in one book. Eric, what I would do, I strongly urge you to go to Costco.com. And I don't know if you have a Costco account, and I don't know if you need one to order one of their photo books. But this 14 by 14 book, that's where I got this, was Costco.com. It's 14 by 14 inches. And it's not terribly expensive. It really isn't. And what I would do is I would go through and just pick maybe 30 or 40 of your really favorite photos and just have a book done. And just do it. Just bite the bullet and do it. Because it'll be a nice keepsake to have, nice thing to have around. Let's see here. Humidity in Chicago is pretty bad, but it's not as bad as Northern Virginia was in July when I went there a couple years ago. Yeah, right around D.C., the closer you get to D.C., you're going to get a lot. It's going to be pretty nasty. That was a swamp, basically. That whole area was a swamp where D.C. was made, and it's just not a good bet. I'm quite a distance from there. I'm in the mountain here a little bit of elevation. That helps a lot. A great quote that I read from a famous designer: "Trendy is the stage before tacky." There you go. I know. Thanks, buddy. I'm trying to find where my girlfriend put our measuring tape. Like a tape that's generally used for measuring circumference. You can take like a string or something and wrap it around and then just take a ruler and measure the string. Might be a way to do it. Wow, thanks for the tip on the Costco book printing. This is why this is a great channel. There you go. A little late, but in the house. Our Wags is in the house. Hello, everybody. Particularly Blue and David Williams. Diamonds are worthless to me. There you go. Yeah, I just don't like the look of them on a watch, personally. Thanks, Craig. I do have a Costco. Will definitely want all of my photos on there, though. For 2,500 photos, that's probably going to cost a lot. Well, you can put several photos on a page, and you don't have to get that big a book. You can get a smaller book. They've got a lot of different options. But I would cull them down. I don't know that I would want them all in the book, all 2,500. I think you should go through with an evil eye and just pick like maybe the 100 best. Just the best of the best. and put them in there. I think it'd be a more interesting book. I know you probably think they're all great, and we all think all our photos are great, but go through there with a real evil eye and just pick out really the best of the best. R-Wags, DC is a swamp. Yeah, absolutely it is. Humidity in DC is brutal in the summer. There you go. Yeah, even up here with the elevation I have and all here, even here from about July 4 until about August 4, about a month or so there, it can get kind of sticky. But again, there are very few days that I can't get my walk in. So it's acceptable up here. I'm right near Camp David. I mean, this is why the president comes up here on the weekends sometimes, is to get away from the humidity. Okay, so that's why I'm located here. It's not an accident. Let's see here. Once I find where she put this thing, I'll get it measured. I'm getting so aggravated, thinking I'm going to end up going with a Day-Date 40 millimeter yellow gold with champagne face and fluted bezel. Well, yeah, they're all going to have well, most of them are going to have the fluted bezel. I mean, some of them have that smooth bezel, but yeah, I would definitely go with the fluted bezel on a Day-Date 40, absolutely. That'll be a stunner. That'll be a stunner. As long as you are comfortable with wearing a relatively heavy watch, it's pretty heavy, so just know that, Austin. Thanks, Craig. I might order one of those books from Costco. Love Costco. There you go. Yeah, they're very affordable. The books, I think they are. I have a lot of nice photos. Blue in the house. Good choice. I had 2 Toyota Camrys that ran to a combined 1,000,000 miles before deciding to upgrade to a Lexus. Yeah, absolutely. Do not get the 8-cylinder, whether you're getting the 350 or anything. They're just less reliable. Well, I'll tell you though, an LS sedan, it's hard to beat an Lexus LS sedan. They got a V8 and they're bulletproof reliable. I mean, I've had 2 of them and they're pretty insanely reliable. So there's that. You don't want to get one that's been through 3 or 4 owners and have been abused and neglected and all that. You don't want to go that route. But if you get a really well-maintained one-owner car, garage kept, by one about 10 years old with about 100,000 miles on it, you got another couple 100,000 miles left in that puppy. That'd be a good move. If you want sweltering hot and humid, then go to Muscat, Oman, or Dubai. Well, go to Florida this time of the year. You can get that. Yeah. So, curious, Craig, what kind of walking shoes do you wear? I've got a whole video on my shoes. Most of them are made in Maine. Most of them are moccasin style construction. And I'll go get the pair that I'm wearing now for walking. Give me a second here. I'm going to go get it. Okay, so these are made by Sperry, and this was their Made in Maine collection. Okay, I have several pairs of these, and this is what I'm walking in these days. And because of the moccasin style construction, they're extremely comfortable. This crepe sole has a lot of cushioning to it. Just very, very comfortable on the foot. The way a moccasin cradles the foot is just freaking amazing. I can walk for 8 or 10 miles in these no problem. Now, if I'm hiking on a rough trail, I'm going to wear my Limer hiking boots, right? But if I'm just walking on level ground, you know, soft trails or grass or whatever, then these are great. And they made this Main collection for several years, and then they stopped. You can still find some of them new old stock sometimes in your size. It'd be a good idea to grab them if you can, because they don't make them in the U.S. anymore, I don't think. Sperry used to make all of their shoes in the U.S. And then I've got a bunch of other pairs of similar shoes to this that are all moccasin style construction that are fantastic for walking. All of my moccasin style construction shoes are made in the U.S. A lot of them are made in Maine. Some of them are made by Russell Moccasin Company in Berlin, Wisconsin, I think. If you go to my channel, I've got a playlist for all made in USA stuff. And there's a bunch of shoes in there. And I've got reviews on all of them. I've got probably a dozen or 24 pairs of high-end made in USA moccasin style shoes. I'm a big believer in them. I have a rotation where I might wear the same shoe only once a week. I have about 6 or 8 pairs that I just wear indoors here, that never go outside, that I just wear in here. I've got a pair on right now. These were Timberlands. These were made in the USA. They used to make all of their shoes in the USA. And this one, these eyelets are all brass, okay, like they used to do it. And so I've got a bunch of Timberlands that are also made in USA. Now these are vintage. These are from like the 1980s. I've got a bunch of pairs of these. So yeah, that's the way to go. Very comfortable. Okay, let's see what else is in here. And then we're going to wrap this puppy up. Get dehydrated fast in Vegas in August. There you go. Let's see. I prefer okay, here's a question here. Do you prefer the heavy watches or the lighter titanium case of the Grand Seikos? Well, this titanium diver is exceptionally comfortable. Full stop. Just exceptionally comfortable on wrist. We've talked about it many times. How heavy is a DAY-DATE 36 when sized on your wrist, Craig? I don't know what the weight is. I don't remember weighing it. But I will say that the 18238 was very comfortable on wrist. No problem with comfort of that watch whatsoever. The President bracelet's very comfortable. The watch is very comfortable. The shape of the case, the way it's all rounded around on the sides, it's no problem at all with comfort of that watch. Wear that puppy anytime, anywhere, no issues. Prefer titanium myself, disappears on the rest. It's so comfortable. Blue in the house, good points. Great thing over in Nevada, we have summer, though it's dry, there's a big difference, especially in evening and morning. You can also have a lot of dust, I think, can't you? A funny story, I had a Discovery 2 from 1999. We went and took apart the spark plug wires, and it turns out we've been driving it for 2 years with them in the exact opposite order. Uh-oh. Get dehydrated fast in Vegas in August. I'm sure you could. A Grand Seiko quartz, or am I wrong? That's a quartz right there. And this one is a spring drive, which is regulated by quartz. Fascinating to read about both movements. Both the 9F quartz movement and the spring drive movement are both amazing movements. You have to manage the summer weather. The other 9 months are awesome, okay? Blue, I've never worn a titanium case watch, but I guess the inaccurate perception is that lighter watches tend to be less quality. Well, this one is fantastic. And the titanium, the alloy that Grand Seiko uses is pretty amazing alloy. All titaniums are not created equal. I don't like the gray looking like grade 1 titanium that a lot of watches are made out of. I'm just not a fan. But this alloy that Grand Seiko uses is pretty freaking amazing. So there you go. Titanium just feels light, but that does not equate to it being of lesser quality than steel. No, absolutely not. It's very solid. Very solid. Tough stuff. I have 6.6-inch wrist. I don't like wearing watches bigger than 40 millimeter on bracelets. I much prefer straps. Bracelets work for me only on watches 40 millimeter or less. There you go. I actually had to talk my jeweler friend out of wearing what was about a $40,000 ring to Vegas for a weekend. The guy is an amazing jeweler, but he's young and dumb when it comes to common sense. Okay. Also, do you put cedar shoe trees in your shoes when not in use? My higher end dress shoes and all those, I do, but not as much the boat shoes and the moccasin style shoes. Not really necessary because I have so many in the rotation that it's really not an issue. And I've got so many pairs now, I've got enough to last my entire lifetime as far as wearing them out. So I don't really have to be careful with them. I bought a bunch of them new old stock when I could snag them. And yeah, they're pretty freaking fantastic. Let me grab a box. I'll just give you a demonstration here. Let's see here. My one of my walk-in closets, the upper shelf, it looks like it's a shoe store, right? I've got all these boxes, and I write on them. I write on them what they are. So this is Ralph Lauren, size 11D, Telford. Okay, and these back in the day were made in the United States. And this was new old stock that I bought off eBay. These boat shoes. Okay. Made in these United States. They don't do it anymore. They don't make this particular model anymore. But you can find them. And this pair is lined. These were about $330 or so new, something like that. And I think I paid about $100 or so new old stock off of eBay for those. See, how do these go back in the box? There we go. So there's one pair, and here's another pair. This one needs to be dusted off a little bit, okay? So this is the same deal, but a different color. See? Brand new in the box. Made in these United States of America. And they're ready to go when I need them. Probably won't be for years because I've got a whole bunch of pairs that are already in rotation. And then I've got about 6 or 8 additional boxes in there of various shoes, new in the box, ready to go. When I say I like made in USA, I mean it. So that's how that works. They don't make them anymore. I buy them new old stock and store them. And they're going to be fine. They don't dry out or anything. They do fine. They'll be okay. All right, so let's see what we got. Let's wrap up these comments. Let's see. Okay. Carl Frederick is all Italian-made leather bags, phone cases, weekend bags, made in Italy, handmade. shipped to France and then U.S. I'm just about to buy one. I fell in love with them. Okay, there you go. But I'm going to be working in the shop, and I carry a G17 9mm covert body armor, so not too worried about getting robbed. Uh-oh. My Sunday is going well. There you go. R Wags in the house. Hope you're doing great. Okay, Blue. Are there websites that I can enter my wrist size into and find out what the proper size watch would be? I don't think you can go wrong with a 36mm date just or day date. I really don't think you can go wrong. I don't care what size your wrist is. The GS Gold Stunner has been serving me well, Craig. There you go. Absolutely. That's a gorgeous watch. We caught it and drove phenomenally well until my epileptic dad drove part of the way off a cliff and completely destroyed the airbag system. Okay, woo. Somebody says Seiko sucks. All right, whatever you say. Grand Seiko is pretty awesome, though. Hello, everyone. I'm late to the party. I was out for lunch. I was out to lunch. What have I missed? I don't think you've missed a whole lot, but you missed a little bit here and there. I'm going to wrap it up here pretty soon so you can rewind and watch from the beginning. Looks like fiance moved my tools. Uh-oh. Craig's shoes. Good idea, Yeah, so I'm set. I'm set on shoes. I mean, if my feet change sizes for some reason, I'd be in trouble. But so far, they're doing fine. Hey, Craig, I just wanted to say that I really appreciate that you respond to any of my posts, and I've never participated in any of these things before, so I really appreciate it. Well, there you go. That's what we're here for. We're here to deal with the issues as they come up. And on that note, I'm going to suggest that you folks click subscribe and click the bell so that you'll get notifications when we go live. Craig, what colognes do you prefer? Chi-Town. In the house, I'll tell you the only thing I'm using right now. Let me go get it, and I'll show you. I'm going to put these shoes back, so give me a moment. Okay. All right. I'm using this stuff right now, and it's like an aftershave balm, I guess is what you call it. And it has a nice scent to it, and really that's what I use. See if I can get a closer shot here. And I really like it. I shave again with this razor, and then I just take a little bit of this, dab it on the hand, and spread it around, and just all around my face and around the back of my neck, and just pepper it around a little bit, and it's got a nice mild scent to it. That's really primarily what I'm using these days. So let's see here. Thoughts on Panerai? I would pass on Panerai personally. I think it's a no-fly zone for me, but other folks might like them. But no, I would go with a Rolex, Grand Seiko, maybe Omega. Kind of the brands I would look at. Proper watch size for it's all subjective. Wear what you like, but generally the lugs of a watch shouldn't hang over your wrist. I agree with that, and I think that if you're going to err on the side of having it smaller versus bigger, I would go with smaller. I mean, if I had to make a decision. In other words, if I was on the fence between a 40 mil day date and a 36 mil day date, I'd just go ahead and go with the 36. because if it's a little too big, it's too big. It just doesn't do right. If it's a little bit too small, you can live with that. But I think this big watch craze is just a little bit insane. I think, of course, here I am with a 44 millimeter watch, right? But this is a straight up sport watch, diver. I mean, I'll make an exception for that, because I'm generally going to be wearing this just like I am now, with either my sleeves rolled up or with short sleeves, right? That's the way I wear this. In the wintertime, I'm going to wear something more trim, like this, but on the bracelet. And so, yeah, I have both scenarios covered. But generally speaking, yeah, I would go smaller rather than larger. I think a lot of people err on, and they go too big. Panerai is soft as butter for resale value. Solid and neat watches, though. See, I would pass on them. I wouldn't worry about the resale value, because you can buy them used, right? Of course. But I just think that there are other better options out there, personally. Usually wear $260 Page jeans and have found six Page with tags. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I tell you what, I wear Bill's khakis most of the time for my go-to slacks, and they are fantastic. They're made in these United States of America. They're very well made. I've got probably a dozen or so pair of them, and they are just a fantastic go-to. Bill's khakis. And you can absolutely buy them on eBay in excellent condition, probably for around $20. They're about $150 new, something like that. You can get them on sale on their website for maybe $75, but again, you can buy them in mint condition for probably around $20 on eBay, and you cannot beat Bill's khakis, folks. Take it from me. I'm going to wrap this puppy up here. Let's see. Women are even wearing 40 millimeter these days. 40 millimeter today is 36 mil. No, you're wrong on that there. No, 36 mil is a great size for a men's watch. If it's a Datejust or a Day-Date, they look great. They have great wrist presence. 36 is still a great size watch for an all-arounder men's watch. Remember, don't feed into these fads, this big watch craze. Don't take a long-term approach. Take a long-term approach. That's the way to do it. Let's see here. I have a 6.5 Ritz, and even the Omega Moonwatch Professional at 43 millimeter fits perfectly. Well, there you go. I'd pass on the Moonwatch anyway, but that's just me. Can you show the GS GMT bracelet? I could, but it's just a bracelet. Oh wait, it's Audrey. Oh, okay. Call dropped. Show the GS GMT bracelet. Yeah, it's just I'm not going to go dig it out right now. I got it put away because I put the other strap on. Let's see. Wealthy people shop resale. This is the reason why 99-cent store is a top hit in Beverly Hills. Wealthy people shop resale. Oh, you mean buy used? Okay. Some do, I'm sure. I meant that I find them brand new, Goodwill, my bad. Okay, yeah. When you can get a deal, clothing depreciates like crazy, right? If you can get a deal on stuff that depreciates like crazy, like those new old stock shoes that I bought and stuff like that, if you can get a deal, man. My wife is 99 pounds and 5'4", and those dainty-looking 36 millimeter watches. I'll never take it off. Lander Rolex for life. Lug width is no. Okay. Craig, I'm not disagreeing with you about 36 mil. I'm just stating that 40 millimeter size is generally the popular size today, as 36 was the popular size years ago. 36 is still perfectly acceptable. There you go. exactly. And I don't, I have no, of course, obviously, look at the way I'm dressed. I could care less about what's popular. I wear what's comfortable for me and what I like and what is high quality and is going to last and hold up and serve a purpose and so forth. And what's popular today, 2/3 of the American public are broke and obese. That's what's popular today, is being obese and being broke. So I don't want to be popular. There's that. So, yeah, I gotta get off here and give Audrey a call. She's got something she needs a little bit of help with, so we're gonna have to deal with that. So again, click subscribe and click the little bell so that you'll get a notification, and that will help. Let's see, Craig, business idea, Craig's khakis made in the USA. Good thing Bill's khakis are still in business. They're still doing it. So I don't have to step into that space. 40 millimeter is about as big as I want to go. Anything more than 40 millimeter works for me on a strap as a diver. Broken obese sounds like a popular watch guru from Australia. I guess they got the obesity problem down there too, down under. That's the problem. That fast food has spread all around the world. Thanks for the live stream from Eric. Eric in the house. I'm loading up here so that I can stop this live stream if I can get this loaded in. Okay, let's stop this puppy. Hey, thanks everybody for watching. Complete this event.